Would you pay $5 or more over spot for a 1 ounce silver round? How about $15 and up for a 1 ounce silver eagle? Those premiums seem outrageous, but the reality is they were true premiums not very long ago. So what I want to do in today's video is go over the current premiums on silver rounds and at silver eagles, and then after we talk about today's premiums, I'm going to show you some of the most outrageous premiums that we saw on silver rounds and silver eagles in the last couple of years. So let's do it, but do me a favor before we do, don't forget to go down below and make sure you are subscribed. We're almost at 200,000 subscribers, and I'd love for you to be one of them. My channel is sponsored by sdbullion.com. New customers can get their first order of gold or silver at spot by going to sdbullion.com/new. All right, so we're going to start by looking at silver round prices. Then we're going to look at silver eagle prices and the premiums from 7 different online retailers. After we talk about current premiums, I'm going to show you some of the outrageous prices that people were paying in just the last couple of years. But starting off with silver rounds, retailer number 1. Now, spot was around $28.19 as I started doing these numbers, and this retailer has a premium of $2.99 an ounce over spot. That is over 10% for silver rounds. And notice in the bottom left corner of the snap here, it says it's a sale price. In other words, they were advertising this price as a sale. There are cheaper numbers than that aren't on sale. And for example, online retailer number 2, not on sale at $2.29 an ounce over spot. That is 8.12%. That is still pretty high because take a look at retailer number 3. We have silver rounds at just $1.29 over spot. Now this is a sale price, so they are advertising it as a sale, but that's a pretty good premium. Under 5% for silver rounds, in my opinion, is a really good buy number. Of course, you make your own decisions. This is not financial advice, but I love seeing premiums on silver rounds this low at 4.58%. If you're looking to buy silver rounds, that is a good number in my own opinion. All right, next up, or I should say honest opinion, but here we go. Retailer number 4. Now this was not advertised as a sale price. $1.49 over spot, 5.29%. So roughly around 5% again for 1 ounce rounds, except for this is just their everyday price. It is not advertised as a sale. Retailer number 5, also not a sale, but the highest numbers that we have today. $3.14 over spot, a premium of 11.14%. Wow, that is pretty darn high given that just a couple of retailers ago we had them for $1.29. Online retailer number 6, $28.19 again spot, hard premiums at $2.45 an ounce over spot, 8.69%. And finally, retailer number 7, again, not a sale, $1.49 over spot, 5.29%. That is much better than that first shop, and I believe the fourth one at $3.19. Yeah, you can definitely get better deals than that. All right, looking at silver eagles, let's take a look here at the premiums here. So online retailer number 1, $6.99 an ounce over spot, advertised as a sale. That is a percentage of almost 25%, 24.8%. And they, again, have that advertised as a sale. Now, if you think 24.8% is outrageous, wait until I show you those premiums people were paying just a couple of years ago. And I probably shouldn't giggle because it is sad that people were paying those numbers. And those numbers were there because there were people paying it. All right, online retailer number 2, $5.49 over spot, 19.47%. Now we get under 20%, but it is advertised as a sale. So that means that this is not their normal everyday price, but if you find good sales, you take advantage of them, right? So you can technically count that as the current premium, if you will. So going into number 3, $7.39 an ounce over spot, 26.21%. That is worse than retailer number 1 at $6.99. Holy smokes. Guys, let's keep on going. Retailer number 4. Now we get down to 18.41% with $5.19 an ounce over spot for silver eagles. We have 3 more retailers to look at. Number 5, here we go, $6.89 an ounce over spot, 24.44%. Basically 25. And again, spot, we are just looking at spot at around 28.19 when we took these snapshots. So the percentage premium could be a little bit different, but the hard premium is based off of the current spot price they are showing on their website. So I just basically took the price, subtracted the current spot, and bada bing, we get 689, and then 24.44% is what it compares to it. Current spot of 28.19. Next up, retailer number 6, we are under 20% again, 545 over spot, 19.33% premium. And looking at retailer number 7, this is the lowest one I could find at 4.11 or $4.11, I should say, over spot, a premium of 14.58%. So getting under 15% on Silver Eagles in today's market, pretty good. Almost to my buy price for Silver Eagles. I recommend keeping Silver Eagles under $4 an ounce over spot. That's what my goal is for them. And this one is really close, and it's not a sale price, so it might be there pretty soon. Now, as many of you know, I tracked these premiums over a long period of time. Take a look at Any Date Eagles hard premium. And again, I'm going to show you those outrageous numbers from certain retailers here in just a second. But take a look at hard retail premiums right here on Silver Eagles. We had peaks right here. The average spot price, or the average premium, I should say, on Any Date Eagles comes at May 8th of 2023 at an average of $18.61 per ounce. You can see since then we had a pretty significant slide, a bit of a bump here, and it is slowly rolling down. As you can see, our average today is $5.93. So we are seeing under $6 an ounce as an average over spot. We had that once again at the beginning of this year, January 15th. And then if we take a look at the percentage, you can see the percentage of spot, which is something else that matters, because if you're paying $10 an ounce over spot for a Silver Eagle, but silver is, say, $50, that's a lot better than paying 10 over when it's 25. You get the idea. So $5 an ounce over spot at 50 is only 10%, right? So anyway, take a look at this. We are going to look at this peak right here on percentage of spot on November 9th of 2022. The percentage of over spot for Silver Eagles on average, this is average for all retailers, was 84.35%. Unbelievable. You can see today it is much lower in the low 20s, and today it was 21.04%. And this data I all get from this chart here. You can see I track every single time I do one of these videos, and I did miss a date right here. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but anyway, you can see every time I update this, every time I do one of these videos, I put the hard premiums, the percentage over spot, and you can see these numbers are definitely on their way down. And I'm going to show you again in just a second just a couple of individual highest prices I could find over the last few years. But looking at generic round hard premiums, same thing. We have kind of our, a little bit of a slide down here. So it peaked 11/9/2022 at $5.92 an ounce over spot. You can see we had a pretty big dip going into the beginning of 2023. And this was during the banking scare when SVB failed, Silicon Valley Bank and all that. People were getting worried. And so they started pulling their money out and buying silver. The premium spiked because the band went up. So we went right here. If you look at, February 15th, 349, March 14th, 490. So huge jump right here in premiums. But since then, it's mostly slid down except for a couple of peaks right here. And as you can see today, it settled at $2.28 an ounce over spot. And that percentage premium, if we slide over, is kind of looking identical because, again, we're going to look at, how that compares to current spot price. And you can see it is definitely, here we go again, 16.18 to 22.18. But you can see here again, we are sliding down, currently sitting at 8.07%. But as I promised, we're going to look at some Bonkers premiums really quick. So what I did is I went through all of my data and I found the most expensive single retailer I could find, and I gave you the date and the amount that they were charging over spot. And then we'll show you the highest average day of all the days that I've tracked over the years. So with silver rounds, the highest Bonkers premium, this is a retailer, a single retailer that was charging $6.89 an ounce over spot. That is a percentage premium of 32.06%. At the time, spot was 21.49. That was on 11/09 of 2022. And then if you look at the average for that day, the average premium, it doesn't look so bonkers. I mean, it is higher, but even the average was almost $6 an ounce over spot at 27.55%. Again, that was 11/9 of 2022. Then looking at some bonkers numbers for Silver Eagles. This one is really mind-boggling. Let's take a look at this. Are you ready? Well, here it is, a Bonkers premium right here. This was one retailer. Spot was $25.80. This was on May 8th of 2023. Spot was $25.80. They were charging $20.99 an ounce over spot. That is a percentage premium of 81.36%. That is almost double spot price. And then the average on that day was $18.61 an ounce over spot, a premium of 72.12%. For one eagle, you were paying on average 72.12%. So are silver premiums still high today? Well, yes, depending on the retailer that you look at. We saw deals on silver eagles closing in on $4 an ounce over spot, which, as I said, is my buy price for eagles. That is my premium target for silver eagles, is around $4 over spot. That's where I'm buying them at. When it comes to rounds, I love to see $2 and under for rounds. And again, we're starting to see those as well. We had a couple of retailers under $2 an ounce today, and I think there's going to be even more as time goes on. But in regards to those bonkers premiums a couple of years ago, I really shouldn't have giggled at the beginning of that video because I'm not innocent here. Now, yes, I was telling people for a couple of years not to buy silver eagles, but I was buying rounds. Now, granted, I wasn't buying every single round I could get my hands on. I was looking for deals. I was buying where I could find a good deal. But those good deals I found a couple of years ago are actually still higher premium than they are today. The only difference is that today the spot price is actually higher. So right now I'm paying roughly the same per ounce for rounds as I was a couple of years ago. The difference is that the spot price is higher when I'm doing it. And as I've said before on the channel, if I'm gonna pay $30 for a silver round, I'd rather it be 28 plus 2 than 25 plus 5. I know that doesn't make any sense because at the end of the day, it's the same money out of your pocket, but it just feels better. And I don't know if you agree with that, but that's how it at least feels for me. So anyway, guys, do me a favor, leave a comment down below and let me know if you were buying silver rounds and silver eagles back then, what your premium limit was, and what's the most that you paid. I would love to know. Leave that comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe like I asked you to earlier. I really appreciate it. If you haven't done so yet, help us get to 200,000, and we will see you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day.